Elle est l'une des promotrices de la troisième foire commerciale Intra Africaine qui se tiendra du 9 au 15 novembre 2023 au Caire en Égypte. Kanayo Awani, vice-présidente exécutive de la Banque de commerce Intra Africaine d'Afreximbank que nous recevons dans ce décryptage, nous parle des enjeux de ce grand événement économique pour le développement du commerce intra-africain. Madame Awani, bienvenue sur Africa 24. La troisième foire commerciale intra-africaine IATF 2023 qu'organise Afreximbank prévoit notamment la signature d'accords commerciaux estimés à environ 43 milliards de dollars. Comment Afreximbank et ses partenaires se mobilisent-ils pour obtenir ces résultats?
Well, let me first start by saying that this is the third edition. What we have seen progressively between the first edition and now is a progressive interest in the trade fair, in interest in coming to generate those deals. It was about $32 billion in 2018 in Cairo. We didn't do it in 2020 because it was disrupted by COVID-19. The second one held in Durban in 2021. I'm sure you were there. And the value of this was $42 billion. We're projecting, and this is a reflection of the momentum of an interest in, first of all, in the growth in intra-African trade, the interests of African countries to trade with each other, in goods, services, and investments, investment goods. But it's also a reflection of what we've seen to be the growing interest of non-African countries to do business in Africa. So our preparations are, in high octane, for want of a better word right now, to see that we achieve those goals, that we achieve the exhibition targets. This program today is one of those to mobilize exhibitors, to mobilize delegates, visitors, buyers. And we're going to be running these road shows across the continent and outside the continent as we progress towards IATF 2023. So we have a target for exhibitors, we have a target for visitors, we have a target for buyers. Buyers are critical elements of any trade fair, because you need to generate those buyers who are coming to come and conclude deals. The B2B exchanges and the B2B platforms are all programs that are going along. The automotive show, which is another a show within a show, is automotive, and that's is a vertical that is being looked after by Afreximbank and the African Association of Automobile of Automotives, AAAM, automotive manufacturers. We also have the Creative African Nexus, which is another vertical that is supposed to promote the creative talents of Africa. We have the Youth Entrepreneurship Program. As you may know, there's a focus on youth and women on the AFCFTA. We're juggling all the balls along, preparing along, giving a lot of promotional events, media, digital media, the TV channels, the road shows like the one we're just having, are all events that are aimed at ensuring that we meet those targets.
Malgré une croissance économique moyenne estimée à 3%, le continent africain et ses principaux marchés peinent encore à se connecter et à offrir des opportunités économiques viables aux investisseurs. Comment l'IATF 2023 contribuera-t-elle à pallier ce problème et à consolider le lien entre les économies africaines?
It is the realization of the low intra-African trade is the reason that Afreximbank a few years ago, or a couple of years ago, under the leadership of Professor Rama, decided to focus on intra-African trade. We see it as a veritable shock absorber to the counter-cyclical shocks that the continent faces due to its reliance on exports of primary commodities. The intra-African trade gives us a unique opportunity to industrialize, right? But in promoting intra-African trade, which is also the ambition of Agenda 2063, the African we want, which is also the agenda of boosting intra-African trade of the AU. In promoting all of this, we realize that one of the key constraints to Africa's to the trading with each other or intra-African trade is lack of access to trade and market information. Many countries don't know what their neighbors are producing, buying or selling. By virtue of our colonial constructs, many of African countries are wired to trade with their, their colonial partners from history, right? There is no even the trade routes. So there are many issues that are inhibiting trade, intra-African trade. Infrastructure deficits, multiple currencies, high cost of foreign exchange, the fragmented nature and structure of African countries. There's so many of them. Trade finance as well, the lack of finance. However, the trade fair seeks to deal with the issue. Among other initiatives Afreximbank has, seeks to deal with the issue of lack of access to trade and market information. In bringing, over the 2 decades we've done these programs, these trade fairs, we've seen people come to say, oh, I didn't know that Egypt produced this. I didn't know that Cameroon has this offering to offer. I didn't know. There's so many of them. In fact, under our hosted buyer program, or buyer program generally, we call it the African buyer program, we are also redirecting African buyers to look inwards, to look at what African countries have on offer. And that's why we encourage Africans, the public and private sector, to take advantage of the platform, to come and showcase the goods that they have, whether it is in goods or services or even creative and cultural talents. That's why it is a B2B and a B2G. It brings people together, to exchange information. That's why the deals are signed. That's why they come together and say, oh, no, I can do a deal with you. I can decide to buy my cocoa products from here. I can decide to buy, to contract another company to make garments, and in various sectors. That's the whole idea of the trade fair. It is to support, information, close the information asymmetry, close the information gap, so that deals can be done and so that intra-African trade can grow.
Quel est le rôle du Centre commercial des Émirats arabes unis en tant que nouveau partenaire d'Afreximbank dans la promotion du commerce intra-africain?
As I may have mentioned earlier, the trade fair, while being an intra-African trade fair platform, is open to non-African countries, but specifically for those partners, non-African partners who want to invest in capital goods to support Africa's infrastructure development, to support Africa's industrialization programs where the capacity may not exist in the continent today. So that's the essence of this program to see. And we've seen a growing momentum of trade between Africa. It's probably one of the fastest growing trade routes for Africa, trade corridors between Africa and the UAE. Today, I think it will stand as one of the top 5 trading partners for Africa, that's the UAE. So we're riding on that momentum. We can see a huge interest to cooperate in a sustainable manner. And that's why we're also trying to see how they can take full advantage of the opportunity that the trade fair provides, for deeper cooperation and even economic integration. And that's, so we've been doing these roadshows across, like you said, of course, we'll do them in Africa as we build up to the road to IETF, is to keep sending the message, promoting it, but it's also, we'll also take advantage of other events that are happening outside of continent to promote the trade fair.
Madame Kanayo Awani, vice-présidente exécutive de la Banque de commerce intra-africaine d'Afreximbank, merci d'avoir répondu à nos questions. Merci d'avoir suivi ce décryptage. L'actualité se poursuit sur Africa 24.